Alright. Hey. So, since last time, and I told Andy this already, but I replayed through the first episode on my own because somehow we had completely misread the decision at the beginning that reflects whether you chose to sacrifice Arcadia Bay. You can even hear us misspeak. We just say the wrong thing, and we don't correct ourselves. But just to clarify, we both chose to save Arcadia Bay and sacrifice Chloe in our respective playthroughs of Life is Strange 1. So I replayed, I basically sped ran the first episode of the game again after saying no to the sacrifice Arcadia Bay option from the first game. And that's where we're at now with that fixed.
But fortunately, from what we understand, that choice didn't really have any bearing on episode 1 other than the scene that we saw towards the end. Where you and what's his name are looking over the ruins of Arcadia Bay, you know?
Yeah. It just, instead of it being ruins, it's an intact town.
Right.
I forget what he says instead. Because it's kind of poignant when they're there and it's just like a destroyed town. So I forget what...
Yeah. I wonder, because it seems like it would fit the scene more if it was a destroyed town.
I think what's his name? Brody or Brady or something?
Brody sounds right.
I think he just says, like, look at the town down there, you know, there's all those people down there, whatever, something or other, like life going on or whatever. I don't know.
Some nonsense along those lines.
Yeah. So now we have that decision made. So that'll affect. That'll give us the proper ending.
In a wild world, there were two wolf brothers living in their home there with their papa wolf.
Oh, I get it. It's gonna be an analogy.
They all lived happily together.
He's doing his sad voice again. That makes it sound like he's just.
Yeah, you're right. It is sad voice.
Forever.
Like he's just attempting ASMR.
So now the brothers were alone, and they had to find a new home. They started a journey through the great big forest. The wolf brothers wandered for days and nights, learning how to live on their own for the first time. They slept in the backwoods among creepy creatures.
Creepy creatures.
They eventually found a peaceful orchard and were able to eat in peace. But they didn't know. Hunters tried to tie them up, but the wolf brothers managed to escape with the help of a friendly bear. He showed them how to survive.
Who could that be?
Find a warm camp for the night. That's when the big brother discovered that the little one was not an ordinary wolf.
What?
A super wolf.
What?
That's how they found themselves even further.
I can't believe science has bred super wolves.
It almost doesn't make sense.
They hope to find peace.
Has strange science gone too far? Yes. That's funny.
There's something to say it went too far when it destroyed a town.
Nah.
Then it was not in our timeline, of course. I guess
to our grandparents.
It hasn't gone too far in our timeline.
Oh, so okay. So it said that the Captain Spirit save had been loaded. So I assume that we're gonna see that.
This is where it is.
This episode, yeah. Also, it says to our grandparents, and I think the people who. Never mind. I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Never mind.
Okay.
I just they're gonna be staying with somebody in this episode.
Okay.
And I was wondering if it was like their grandparents or something.
Oh, I see what you mean. Maybe.
Try with this one.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's not a spoiler, but
Don't brag.
So for people who may
It's
not
too
have
heavy for
seen
you a few days
or
ago.
played Captain Spirit, we saw little boy Daniel use his telekinetic powers to save our protagonist, which was little boy Captain Spirit.
Yeah. What was his name?
I actually don't remember.
That was a long time ago, actually.
That was actually kind of a fun little thing. I mean, the conceit of that was that it looked like he had powers. I mean, you were never fooled, of course, but like,
yes,
you know,
but it was just
all
like his imagination.
Yeah, which was kind of a neat conceit for this universe where, like, you know, the whole thing is everybody,
So glad Daniel took
one of the main characters will always have a power, you know.
Yeah. We're doing Jedi training, by the way.
I'm so glad Daniel took.
Didn't we make a joke? I feel like we talked about going to Dagobah in the last episode.
Run to
Try and
Dagobah.
lift mushroom.
Run to Dagobah. Run to Dagobah.
wanna hurt her?
Yeah, you're probably.
So I can hold left trigger
Leave the puppy
and tell
out of this.
Daniel to force lift objects.
So this is kind of like the way the game gives you the power to play
How
with
about those
without
cans?
being
Yes.
the power
Fly them all
character.
together without dropping.
It's almost like it would just be
Sure.
simpler just to make you the power character.
Almost. But then it wouldn't be
That's awesome, dude.
uh
You're getting way better at this.
I can't
Different.
imagine a game like that, actually.
Okay. Let's show Daniel some more stuff to play with before.
What do you mean? A game like where you play as the guy with the powers, or you play as the
Yeah.
guy who? Oh,
That just seems
Yeah.
about
too fast paced
that
for
one?
me.
yeah,
Do it with the small rocks.
I'm not a Twitch
Not the big
gamer.
ones.
right. I feel you.
You can do this.
I'm more of a
Trust me.
Vine gamer,
Relax. Focus.
more of a TikTok gamer.
I'll try.
I like Vine gamer better because that implies that you're like you've stopped gaming or something.
Yeah, I said that, and like even as I was leaving my mouth, I was like, "Oh man, that's way too dated." Vine's been gone for like 3 years now.
That's pretty weird, huh?
Yeah, because it was so big and it blew up, and like I feel like I was hearing about it all the time. Then even on YouTube, you have like the Vine stars who are just still doing their thing with like 10-second, like what's his name, ProZD, I think is my favorite.
Yeah.
The gamer guy. Yeah.
And TikTok just feels like a
Holy
more
shit.
like a less wholesome version of Vine.
Like a boss. You're getting good at
You
this.
see that mushroom? That was the biggest rock
He
ever.
pulled up
Yeah.
a big rock.
Come on, dude. That's just the start. Let's try something else.
Cool. You're like Coach Aaron. You're my power coach. A snowball?
It's impossible.
Not yet. This is a new exercise, young apprentice. See if you can stop this in the air.
He's gonna pull a Neo
Cool?
fight? Okay.
from
But you
the
better not hit
seminal
me.
film
Like
Matrix
that time you gave me a
Reloaded.
bruise? Serious.
Right,
Won't let
from
me.
that one.
Right?
Try it.
Not Matrix Revolutions.
No.
What an idiot.
Fucking killed him.
I said don't hit me, jerk.
Sorry, I thought you would stop it.
Oh wait, I wasn't supposed to throw it at him.
Oh man, that's going to be a thing at the end. 90% of players hit Daniel with a snowball.
Aw, that sucked.
What if I throw it at
How
Mushroom?
about one more?
Mushroom's not going to like that. I'll tell you that much.
Mushroom will
Ready?
remember that.
Dude, you almost hit our dog. Learn how to aim.
I'm sorry.
I was aiming for a dog.
Yeah, you were
Just
aiming
stop
just
it,
fine.
Daniel. You learned fast.
35% of players
Let's
tried to
do
hit
one.
Mushroom.
But near me. And not super hard.
It's just a snowball, Daniel.
I'm alright, I'm gonna load a rock into this one.
Shard of glass, razor blade.
Yes! Look! Look what I can do, Sean.
I knew that you could. I've taught you well. But you're a master student. Hey, that still sounds nasty. You're not getting better.
I told you. I'm fine. Just a little beat.
Well,
I just have
You need to
a
rest
dry
now.
cough and shortness of breath.
superhero.
So, in Life is Strange 1,
go back
Max's powers both physically
fill up the canteens
taxed
before we head
her,
back.
like made her nose bleed and caused her headaches and fainting spells and whatever,
That cough has been going on
And
for days, Daniel.
had
weeks
repercussions in
ago,
like time and
Daniel could have left a pine cone.
nature,
That
I
call has
guess.
been going on for days, Daniel.
Yeah.
I really don't like that.
So I think we may have talked
You
about
did
it,
awesome
but
today, Daniel. I'm really proud of you. You've been
Yeah, I
practicing
was
for just
kind
a
of
few
playing with those
weeks,
same
but
thoughts. Maybe we were
what would be
thinking
the
all the same
repercussions
thing.
here? You know.
Yeah, and also maybe on a more meta level, that stuff made sense for Max. In no, yeah, okay. I was about to go down a different thread. I don't think it's actually relevant, but that stuff made sense for Max. But I think Life is Strange 1 also did a really good job of making the gameplay, the power, not just like a cool conceit of the story, but also like thematically resonant with what the game is trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's why it had to affect the natural world. You know, I mean, that was the consequences and stuff.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm kind of curious what this game is trying to say about Max's power, or not Max, Daniel's power, if it's trying to say anything at all. You know,
Here we go.
It's kind of funny because the powers in Life is Strange 1 end up being more of like, when you really look at what they meant in the context of the story, they ended up being like a way for Max to emotionally have emotional closure.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Nice work, Daniel.
It was less about like the
Practice your
science
training
fiction,
sessions
what
are paying
like
off.
how can I fix
Thanks
the
to
world
you.
or how can I help people.
So glad
It was
Yeah,
like how
I mean-
can I come to a
Yeah,
resolution
like-
for myself in my life.
Exactly. At the very beginning and the very end of the game, Max is physically in the same place, but has totally changed as a person. Like, has gotten.
It's
Well, I don't
fine
know about
out
totally
here.
changed as a person, but she's
There's
grown
no
as a
one to hear
person,
you
and she
curse.
Yeah.
Say whatever the
has
fuck you
gotten
want.
resolution. You're right. But I mean, that's also like the conceit of that power being a time travel power. I'm not necessarily saying that this has to have the same type of thing. But yeah, you know, we'll curious to see where it's going, if it's going anywhere.
Because it's very easy for telekinesis to just be like, well, I can lift
It's
things.
just a given. Yeah. For telekinesis to be the given, you know.
Yes. By the way, I think I just gave Daniel permission to swear, so I apologize.
Yeah, that's gonna be a 75% of players gave Daniel permission to swear. It's a 10-minute episode, and we've made all the decisions already.
We're at your river once. Water was freezing cold. We had
I'm just trying to think about what we were just saying in context of before the storm. But I mean, that game was also a little different because Rachel's power. It's almost like Rachel's power just was meant to like add to like the intrigue of Rachel as a character, and I thought that was okay, just because the game was not ever really ever about Rachel's power. You know?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think you maybe see it in, like one scene, and like that. Doesn't she burn down the forest, and that's a big deal, but like, you know.
It was weirdly just a way for her to appear to be a worse person.
Right.
Why never come back? They must have moved out. Maybe to another state.
But they left all their stuff behind?
I don't know, man. Maybe they live in Florida and only come here every 10 years. Maybe they got tired of these woods.
I kind of like it here.
Another thing that I think is kind of interesting is that Rachel is dead, and Max, even if she can control time travel, she's probably learned by now that she just doesn't want to fuck with it. You know what I mean? After her, especially if you in our experience of the game, you know, where she got close with Chloe and then had to let her go.
So what you're saying is, this guy's on borrowed time.
Oh, almost forgot to check out.
I'm saying, you know, maybe, but like, I guess what I'm saying is like, it's going to be an interesting thing if this game ends with Daniel doesn't really get any major like world consequences other than accidentally killing his dad. I guess that wasn't really his fault though.
You're saying prepare to bury Daniel,
right? There's his grave right there.
What kind of dog were you, Sandy?
Just put in the old doghouse.
Like our little mushroom.
A bad dog. A happy dog.
Oh, what if
sad dog.
What if you're wandering around here and you save Spirit, and this episode you end up staying with like Spirit's dad or something like that, and you see more of that interaction or something.
At your service.
Well,
You were saying that we're staying with somebody this episode. I'm like wondering like, what if we end up staying with Captain Spear's family after we save his, or are you saying that because?
They were
Oh.
in the neighbor's backyard, the old kindly
Sorry,
couple.
guys.
Right,
We
you're
don't
right.
just-
So I think they would be staying with them.
Hmm.
But I think they would. I think we were getting that, and then getting like past that. You know,
Sure.
what happened next?
Must have been a really sweet spot to get a tan in the summer.
Don't swear. I made a mistake telling you could. Where's that kid?
You know, I
slap him
know.
Inside the head.
I'm no genius man game developer, but I feel like if I had a thing like this,
You're
like
no
the spirit
Kojumbo.
thing, I'm no Kajumbo, then I would have loaded that in episode 1, even if I
Yeah.
didn't intend. Like, I would have had the players load that like before they even
Wildlife
started the game,
one.
if there was going to
Daniel
impact the
Silver.
game. Because now you kind of like know, like, oh, okay, so the episode 2 is where that happens.
Right.
You know, I don't know. Maybe it's not that big a deal because
Although players are also waiting for snow. You know, like
Daniel's
when will
kid.
that
Oh,
happen?
yeah,
When
sure,
the snow is
sure.
Let's get his.
around on the
Daniel
ground.
helps me slice wood
Sure.
by holding the logs with his power.
What?
Yeah, I guess.
Useful.
Wait.
What did he say?
Daniel holds the logs with his power, so you can just cut the wood. Why is that necessary?
If anything, like use the axe as an opportunity to like improve Daniel's dexterity and have him cut the wood without like any physical exertion. You know what I mean? Like you could
Yeah.
load. He could even load it and then cut it.
Tonight.
What would you need
Throw
to do?
the logs up in the air and have him throw the axe with his powers.
I'm gonna be. I don't. Want to, I'm not expecting this to go like full power testing, but I'm curious to see if like we get any idea of Daniel's limits or like what really he can do. Like, oh, he can't lift that heavy thing. Oh, he can
Hey,
throw it
no,
that
no.
far. You know, that
Right.
kind of thing.
A lot of
True
times
exercise
it's kind of
too,
unclear
right?
where the limits are because it's usually like for the plot what
Right.
he
Right.
can lift a heavy thing or can't lift something.
I guess we know that he can at least lift or catch and hold the size of like an 8,
Wanna fetch mushroom?
10, 12-year-old boy, however old.
Right.
Probably like 10. It's pretty young.
I forget
There
the
you
boulder
go.
over there was like
Did it!
I don't know,
Go, girl.
not even as big as this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good girl.
That wasn't. You just held the stick up over the dog, taunting it.
And it just barked a few times.
Good girl,
Train
you
Daniel.
saw.
Daniel can train Shroom.
It's so silent out here. No neighbors.
The snow absorbs the
roads?
screams of the damned, Daniel.
It's like we're on another planet.
Damned.
A new planet. That's exactly what we need.
I feel you, man.
Same.
Hey, there's that couch for the yard that Lila wanted.
Not my kind of weeds.
Just have Daniel teleconnect that back home.
Throw it back to Washington.
Where are we right now? I know we saw in the opening thing. We're not.
I guess I haven't checked my inventory yet. Probably see on the map.
I feel like
Yeah,
this month
I
is
know it
just
said what
wide
day,
open.
time, and location. I just can't remember.
We're so lucky we found that old cabin.
Yeah, you're sitting in front of it. It's kind of weird to refer to it
Gave
as
us time
that
to
old
rest
cabin.
and
Yeah, it's this old
process all
cabin,
that happened.
This old cabin.
and it's process all this happened.
Brody was right. We're
It was
stronger
Brody.
now.
It was Brody.
We look out for
The
each
big
other.
bear.
We're in this together.
You think they made Brody a fat character just for that bear analogy?
So quiet.
Yeah, the whole huggable teddy bear aesthetic.
Yeah,
Just the-
yeah.
Continuously flowing.
Wasn't the guy like a blogger or something? A travel blogger, I think.
Yeah, yeah. AKA,
Daniel's health is
or
getting
sorry,
worse every day.
alternatively, a porn
Food is
enthusiast.
running low.
Yes.
Will we need to move
It's art.
again?
Yep, sure does suck that you're on the run.
Hmm.
I think one thing that also sets this game apart from from any of the previous games is that like this game's plot is immediately like actually pretty dark and depressing. Like
Yes.
anytime you're playing this game, you're constantly dealing with the fact that you're on the run after your dad is dead and you guys are presumably wanted by the police, you know.
The first game only really gets dark later.
Daniel's getting cold.
Right, like chapter
Let's
4
get
or
inside
5,
and
you know.
warm him up.
Maybe you can. Well, actually, no, earlier than that. Never mind. I guess even by the end of chapter 2, it starts getting a little dark with what's her name? Suicide is the first major dark event I think that happens. That can happen.
Right. So I think we had, I don't know.
We had like 13
or 16 was it?
We spent like we had like $30. We spent like about 14, so we should have had about $16.
Okay, so then he spent like the $6, right? Like
right,
he says, to buy food from the nearest town.
Right. Nice.
When did this happen? Jen, help!
That number's got to come into play at some point, right?
Weed pipe.
Why? Why are you carrying that around? You don't smoke weed, and also it's illegal. And you're being chased by the police. Are you kidding me? Gotta love it. That's actually really cute.
I don't know why it's so funny to me that it's just Daniel's inventory is filled with pine cones.
He's a little kid. That's kind of cute. I like that.
Yeah. We didn't have that before, did we?
No, I don't think so. It took Discord a second to catch up. So like when you first loaded that page, it was just pixelated text. I was like,
wait, bookmarks. What
did we have? Did we have this journal last time? I don't think we did.
Well, we had the journal.
Oh, okay, okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, there's another number there. Page 21 or 23.
Yeah, I'm starting at where we left off.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering if that number's gonna be significant, but I guess that's Lila. Oh, you know what? He probably jotted down throwing away.
Yeah,
I guess that's what that is.
That's probably the case.
Even though we didn't see him do that, but
he drew pictures. Them. See. Whatever.
See, that doesn't really like. See, this kind of departs from the bear analogy because which one's? I guess the one on the far left is supposed to be the Brody. This doesn't look.
Well, they're all them sea cushion, sea pillow boys.
Sea lions or whatever. Ant lions.
Ant lions. What the actual fuck? The fact that he didn't realize that there was anything going on until that point.
Well, you know, it does seem ridiculous. I don't want to downplay that, but also, how quickly would you assume that something that just seems inexplicable to you was actually superpowers? You know, we can forgive him, I think, for the heat of the moment, losing his.
I think we also talked about he never actually directly saw anything until then.
Right, and I think actually we were surprised about that because we had to kind of like rationalize. Wait, really? Because there was a moment I think where what Sean was saying made more sense if he didn't know that Daniel had powers, and then
when Daniel goes out into the store and then like blows it up with the guy.
Right, right.
We were like, oh, he didn't actually see that, I guess, but then he didn't. He also didn't put that together that it was
right,
Daniel who did
right.
That. Puerto Lobos. Very bus.
November 1st, 2016. Just waiting. Any page now. It's going to be another Trump reference.
Found layers at a thrift store.
One out of 5. Would not recommend.
Invisible. I think Sean is realizing that he has a superpower too.
Which is...
He can make him and his brother invisible.
Ooh, that would be a good superpower to have when you're being chased by the police.
Specifically very good. Crackhead at the... I hate crackheads at the shelter.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, some geologist is going to believe that 2 children are on a survivalist trip.
You don't know. Like, I'm into that sort of thing.
Maybe she, just too distracted by her rocks.
Well, Daniel was throwing them around, so.
True. I don't know if you want to evoke the Hansel and Gretel analogy there.
Mice Palace. He hates me.
Oh, so you sketched out a little
Map.
traps. Oh, I guess he's hunting, trapping.
Trying to catch game, yeah. 15 miles away. I like to think that crazy how much good stuff they throw away. Rock, bait, twigs loose.
Yes.
Got some Daniel sketches here. Not quite as good as John, but
No. He's on his way.
He's learning.
Daniel's actually sketching like a child instead of all these amazing sketch prodigies.
Right.
Okay, so that brings us to today, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, nope, that's another week. So they've been practicing for a while. Okay, so this is the power testing. We just didn't get to see it.
Yes. We have a ripped out page.
Look, Mushroom's got the stick. Yeah, there is a ripped out page. Interesting.
What? Oh.
Oh, it's a...
They're playing like a paper and pen game. RPG. He did it!
Oh, that's a scoreboard. So Daniel keeps beating him in that game. Trash Panda Persona? Oh.
Activated with the pull of a trigger. Dumpster dive. So yeah, maybe we're seeing the physical toll element.
Maybe.
Of the powers.
I mean, we did just see apparently a bunch of power testing. Sorry. Microphone got knocked off there. We did just see a bunch of power testing, and then now he's sick, so I could buy that.
Well.
Where is that? Wisconsin? Yeah. I think you're in Wisconsin.
Yeah, that seems like Wisconsin. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump over from Oregon. No big deal.
Yeah. No big deal. But I mean, apparently like a month has passed, I guess, so. Those dots probably... No? Okay. Yeah, no, yeah, okay. Just trying to see how the map was laid out.
Yeah. No, we're still in Oregon. Ways to go. Ways to go yet. Mount Washington. That was the name of one of the songs from Life is Strange 1.
Mount Washington?
Fun fact, yeah.
Oh, cool. There's a fun fact.
The one that goes, I don't have to see you right now. I don't have to see you right now.
Oh, yeah.